Welcome to the English with Ava podcast.
Welcome to today's deep dive. And, if you're listening to this right now, I'm guessing you're probably someone who wants to optimize your daily life.
Oh, for sure. Or, you're just insanely curious about how other people actually structure their time behind the scenes.
Right, because it is fascinating. And today's source material is, honestly, it's a really unique hybrid. We're looking at a transcript from an English learning show. It's referred to in our sources as both the English Lab podcast and the English Spark podcast.
Yeah, they use both names.
Right. And our mission today is basically twofold. First, we want to extract the actual actionable lifestyle habits shared by the hosts of that show, Emma and Ryan.
Because their routines are just incredibly specific.
They really are. And second, we want to analyze how their daily routines are actually used to teach a specific set of vocabulary by their coach, Sophia.
Which is such a brilliant concept, really.
It is. Okay, let's unpack this. Because by looking at someone's morning, their afternoon, and their evening, we basically get this blueprint of how they manage their time and, honestly, their energy.
Right. You're seeing the underlying mechanics of their day.
Exactly. So let's start with the morning routine. Because, every day starts with a wake-up call. But the source material gives us two totally contrasting approaches to those first few hours.
Yeah, completely opposite philosophies.
Let's look at Emma first. Her approach is what I would call a slow boot. She wakes up at 6:45 a.m., and her very first move is that she specifically avoids grabbing her phone.
Which is, frankly, really hard to do.
Oh, totally. Instead, she sits quietly for exactly 1 minute to set her intentions for the day. And then she immediately opens the window for, and this is a vocabulary phrase from Sophia, fresh air.
Fresh air, right.
And she makes her bed just to get a clear mind, follows that up with brushing her teeth, washing her face, and drinking a large glass of water to, quote, stay hydrated.
Another key vocab phrase there.
Yep. And then her breakfast is super light. It's like yogurt with fruit or cereal or maybe just toast with peanut butter. And finally, she checks her calendar before leaving the house.
So it's very measured, very gentle start to the day. Mm-hmm.
Very. But then you have Ryan, and his morning is, it's an action start. He wakes up even earlier at 6:15 a.m.
Just right out of the gate.
Literally. He immediately changes into workout clothes and does 30 minutes of exercise, like a short run or a home workout.
Sitting quietly for a minute for Ryan.
Definitely not. Then he showers and eats a really hearty breakfast. We're talking eggs, fruit, and as Sophia highlights, whole grain bread.
Oh yeah, the heavy fuel.
Right. And then he also reviews his schedule to prevent stress later in the day. So looking at these two, it's kind of like powering up a device, right?
That's a good way to put it, yeah.
Like Emma uses this slow, careful sequence so the system doesn't crash. But Ryan just immediately runs a stress test with the workout.
He just completely redlines the engine right away.
Exactly. But here's my question for you. Since they both end their morning by reviewing their schedules, is that shared administrative habit actually more important than the physical activities they choose?
Oh, absolutely. Despite their totally different physical approaches, whether it's yoga or running, the underlying mechanism they are both relying on is predictability.
Predictability.
Right. Reviewing the schedule creates this sense of psychological safety for the rest of the day. The brain burns a lot of energy just dealing with uncertainty.
Oh, I believe that.
Yeah. So by knowing exactly what's coming, they aren't leaking cognitive energy worrying about, forgotten meetings or surprise deadlines. They are buying peace of mind before they even walk out the door.
That makes a lot of sense. Which brings us to the afternoon routine. And this is all about energy management and focus. Once the day is fully booted up, the focus shifts entirely to how Emma and Ryan sustain their systems.
Because the afternoon is usually when people just completely fall apart.
Oh, 100%. It's when we crash. So let's look at Ryan's deep work strategy. He takes that high morning energy and capitalizes on it for his most important projects.
He's tackling the hardest stuff first.
Exactly. And he keeps his phone on silent to eliminate distractions, which is another vocabulary word. And he forces himself to concentrate on just one task at a time.
Single tasking.
Right. Then lunch is at 1:00 p.m. And he purposely keeps it light so he doesn't get lethargic, like grilled chicken with rice and vegetables, or maybe soup with whole grain bread.
So he avoids the food coma.
Exactly. Because then in the late afternoon, he spends his time clearing out emails, doing online meetings, and knocking out the rest of his task list.
So he's not taking that unfinished work home with him.
Right. He doesn't want to worry about it later. But then we have Emma's paced learning strategy. Her day is totally different. It's filled with classes, assignments, group discussions.
Very schedule heavy.
Yeah. She keeps a notebook nearby for ideas, But her crucial survival strategy is taking a short break every single hour.
Every single hour.
Yep. She stretches, walks around, drinks water. And her lunch is also simple vegetable rice, pasta, or a fresh salad with fruit.
Sounds pretty similar to Ryan's lunch strategy, honestly.
It is. But here's a key difference. She actually takes a few minutes to relax after lunch before she dives back into tasks. She purposefully separates work from personal time.
She builds in a boundary.
Yes. So here's where it gets really interesting. Think about their afternoons like battery management, right?
I like that.
Do you drain the battery completely, like a power tool, which is basically Ryan's deep work? Or do you pulse it with constant microcharges like Emma's hourly breaks?
Well, I mean, it really highlights the concept of productive pacing. What they are both doing is engineering their afternoons specifically to achieve peace of mind by the evening.
So it's not just about grinding through the work.
Not at all. The afternoon isn't just about doing work. It's about positioning yourself to successfully clock out. Ryan front loads his deep work so he can just coast through emails later.
Right, the easy stuff.
Yeah, and Emma uses micro breaks to ensure she doesn't hit a wall by 3:00 p.m. They are both managing their cognitive load, so they actually have something left in the tank when they get home.
Which perfectly transitions us into the evening routine, because this is all about disconnection and preparation.
The shutdown sequence.
Yes. Because they aggressively manage their workloads during the afternoon, their evenings can be dedicated entirely to recovery. It basically proves that a good tomorrow actually starts tonight.
I love that. A good tomorrow starts tonight.
It's so true. So looking at Emma's solitude, when she gets home, she changes into comfortable clothes. She unwinds another vocab word by listening to soft music or just sitting by the window for fresh air.
Very calming.
Yeah. And she eats a balanced meal at 7 p.m. Vegetables, rice, protein. She specifically notes that she wants to feel lighter.
So no heavy late night dinners.
Exactly. Then she spends about 20 to 30 minutes reading or learning online, and she actively avoids her phone before sleep.
That's huge.
It really is. Now, Ryan's evening is a bit different. He focuses on connection and planning. He prioritizes family time to stay connected and discuss the day.
So he's actively socializing.
Right. And he eats a simple early dinner, 2 grilled fish and veg, or a homemade sandwich and soup.
Notice how neither of them are eating huge, heavy dinners right before bed.
Exactly. And Ryan also swaps out mindless phone scrolling for reading articles or listening to podcasts. But here's the thing that stood out to me. Critically, he writes down tomorrow's priorities right before bed, and he's in bed by 10:00 p.m. for maximum recovery.
Yeah, the priority list.
Yeah. I mean, wait, Ryan is writing tomorrow's task list right before bed. Doesn't that just invite work stress into the bedroom?
You would think so, right? Like you're firing up the engine right when you're trying to park the car.
Exactly. It sounds like a terrible idea.
But actually, based on the text, writing the priorities is an unloading mechanism.
Unload it.
Yeah, it's a way of getting it out of your head. If you don't write it down, your brain is just going to juggle those tasks all night, trying not to forget them.
Oh, like running in the background and draining your battery.
Yeah, exactly. So by putting it on paper, Ryan ensures he can actually fall asleep and recover, which are key vocabulary words from Sophia, by the way. It's an act of closure. The paper holds the stress, so his brain doesn't have to.
Wow. Okay. That actually makes perfect sense. So now we've traced the chronological arc of the day, right? But we really need to pull back and look at the meta layer of all this, because the ultimate goal of the source material isn't just productivity.
Right. It's an English learning show.
Exactly. They're using these lifestyle choices to impart language knowledge. And that's where the role of Sophia, the coach, is so important.
She's sort of the bridge between the actions and the words.
She really is. Like, you see how the vocabulary naturally maps to modern productivity culture, where it's like, stay hydrated, stay focused, take a break, balanced meal, peace of mind.
It's very intentional.
Very. And the core philosophy they arrive at during their final discussion is that there is no perfect routine.
Right. You shouldn't just copy someone else's.
Exactly. The goal is matching a routine to your own lifestyle. Small changes like just drinking water or taking short breaks yield massive impacts.
Because it's sustainable.
Yes. And they emphasize that missing a day isn't a failure. Progress happens through small actions repeated every single day.
Consistency over intensity.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? To me, it's kind of ironic that to master a language, in this case English, the hosts essentially prescribe mastering your daily schedule first. Consistency is literally the bridge between language learning and lifestyle design.
It's a really brilliant structure, honestly. by attaching abstract vocabulary words to these concrete universal daily actions, like eating whole grain bread or turning off your notifications, the language becomes instantly practical.
You aren't just memorizing flashcards.
No, you're living the vocabulary. When you silence your phone, you are physically acting out the phrase, stay focused. It embeds the language into your muscle memory.
That is so powerful. Well, to sum it all up, this has been an incredible journey. From Emma's mindful mornings and hourly breaks to Ryan's deep work and priority-driven evenings, the overarching lesson here is clear. Consistency absolutely beats perfection.
It really does. But, there's one final puzzle here that I think is really worth pondering.
Oh, what's that?
Well, the entire source material assumes that our routines are forged purely through conscious choices and willpower, like writing lists, setting alarms, choosing to close the window.
Right, like we are in total control of our actions.
Exactly. But what if our daily routines are actually just invisible responses to the physical friction in our environments?
Wait, what do you mean by physical friction?
Well, think about it. If your phone is on your nightstand, you're going to grab it. It doesn't matter how much willpower you have. But if your phone charges in the kitchen...
Oh, you literally can't grab it first thing in the morning.
Right. So if you want to change your routine, maybe you shouldn't try to change your willpower.
That's exhausting anyway.
Exactly. Maybe you just need to rearrange your room.
Wow. Rearrange your room to rewire your routine. I love that. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. Stay curious, take a look at your own daily habits, and maybe move that phone charger into the kitchen tonight. We'll see you next time.